Free speech, according to many on the radical left, is an enigma. It protests hate speech by the right, but protects hate speech from the left. It protests hate speech of Nazis and white supremacists, but it protects hate speech of BLM radicals and religious zealots in Islam. On the radical left, free speech demands that the right and everyone in the middle and everyone who is left, but not radically so, accept the most bizarre of statements and actions. For example, the ACLU had the gall recently to post a picture of a cute white toddler holding an American flag on its website. This caused a firestorm of protests from the radical left. Because their hate speech against people based on race, even children based on race, is acceptable. And their hatred of this country and what it stands for, as exemplified by the American flag, is acceptable. What is not acceptable is the Confederacy from 150 years ago, because they were racists and traitors to this country. But one has to wonder what this group qualifies as being a traitor to the country, especially when this is the same group that supported Edward Snowden, Bowe Bergdahl, and Chelsea Manning. Each of these people betrayed their country, but they are okay in the eye of the radical left. Or at least they are, as long as they toe the party line and associate exclusively with the radical left and its radical agenda. One also has to wonder what the word racism means to them, when quite often members of the group say things like, white people, all of them, are inherently racist, or black people cannot be racist because of past subjugation. I don't know, but that, to me, sounds like the very definition of racism.
But then again, definitions seem to be a problem for the radical left.
Things like what male and female mean to them are fluid and unfixed, and thus definitions of even these once basic and uncontested terms are ever-changing in the schizophrenic politics of the radical left. A person can be black if she feels it. An actual black person can lose his black card for being opposed to BLM. But I dare them to say that to his face. They also state publicly that any black people who are also conservatives are traitors to their race. I don't know, sounds kind of racist to me. And if you're a black woman who thinks that the Confederate monuments should be left in their place, you are also a target of the radical left. And if all of this isn't outrageous enough, we have people on the left not stopping with Confederate monuments and actually torching statues of Abraham Lincoln. We have people wanting to abolish all of our founding fathers now. What started as an argument over the Confederate monuments has morphed into reporters advocating for blowing up Mount Rushmore. We even have people on the radical left who want to rip up and destroy Ulysses S. Grant's tomb, even though this is the man who led the Union forces in the Civil War. So again, I ask, what is the definition of the word traitor to a member of the radical left? Especially of Abraham Lincoln, who was the president opposed to the Confederacy during the Civil War, and Ulysses S. Grant, the man who led the Union forces during the Civil War, are also in the crosshairs of the radical left's radical agenda. What does the word racism mean to them when it's okay to be racist against white people because they are white? One has to wonder what the radical left's endgame is. Well, one only has to wonder if he or she hasn't been paying attention to what is happening in this country, that is. The radical left's endgame is the usurpation of democracy and capitalism, and the establishment of anarchy first, and communism ultimately. Wake up.